What's up, Zoo Nation? Welcome to Making Mizzou, sponsored by 360 Vodka on the Kansas City Sports Network. I'm your host, Martin Rucker, my co-host, Tommy Saunders, and today we got in the building number 12 and number 56 on the field,
Let's go.
but always number one in your heart, baby.
You already know.
Franklin Deshaun Weatherspoon, aka aka Spoon Jones, aka
Beat
Jones.
him up. Beat him up.
Thank y'all for having me on,
Hey.
man. I'm just grateful to be in the number,
We appreciate you coming on, man. It's been a little while since we've all had a chance to catch up. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing now.
Man, I'm in straight like dad, entrepreneurship, philanthropist, chauffeur mode. I'm in Atlanta. I came out here 2010, as a lot of the listeners might know. But I've been here since 2010. I left and went go to Arizona. So I ended up playing 8 years, and I'm now back here in Atlanta. And my family's here, and we're in Brookhaven, which is a little north of Buckhead. And what we're doing right now, man, we're trying to, carve out this entrepreneurship lane. Been working in philanthropy for, call that work. Been in philanthropy for about 8, 9, all my life because, it's just, my mom's a teacher.
Right.
She always instilled in me that, helping others is a part of the journey. So we've been doing that for a long time. But we have a foundation. It's called Spoonful of Hope. And my wife and I, we run that. We're also building businesses. I have my independent record label. It's called Can't Be Contained. And it actually stems from a group of mine and a group of friends that I was super close with and still close with today. Jeremy Macklin, Denario Alexander, and Kevin Rutland. We all lived on Old 63 Highway at Copper Beach. We became the Copper Beach Clique. And so I took the CBC from that, and I feel like I can do a lot of things. So it's just like I can't be contained, and I'm just trying to build that up, man, and get some music out there in the atmosphere and just see what we can do with that. So I'm rubbing my hands like Birdman because that's who I aspire to be like without the tattoos. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We've been working, man. I got the studio at home. I've had a studio in Atlanta and other places, some famous studios here. And that was great for networking and kind of learning and just, meeting people. And I've been learning the business and just trying to make sure I don't, kind of shoot my shot at something that's not attainable. I want to kind of do it the right way, man. So that's where I'm at, man. My wife, she has a boutique that she's doing online called Soul Life Collective.
Okay.
They're putting clothes and looks together for, women, all sizes, not just the Instagram models.
Yeah. Okay.
You can go to her page at Soul Life Collective, and she's kind of partnered that with her her Soul Life nanny agency as well, man. Because we spent a lot of money on nannies over the years.
Man. We can use one of them now.
I got 3 babies. Bro, we got you, bro. I got 3 babies. We had to kind of tap into that industry, man. And so my wife, along with 2 of her partners, which are a couple nannies that worked for us, they're great ladies, Chelsea Bailey and Bree Johnson. They're some of the most coveted nannies in the world. So I've had to fight off Joe Johnson, Kevin. I was like, hey, no, you can't have. But when Michael Rubin came in, we was, you can go to my family. We ain't gonna fight that. 401k benefits. Okay, go ahead. Get the word out. So that's called Soul Life Agency, and that's a nanny agency. So my wife's been doing that for a few years, man. Here I am with the music, and we're just trying to raise these kids to be, great individual people and that go out and do their job in the world. So we have 3, like I said. My oldest, her name is Ava. She's 6. Sean, he's baby Sean. He's right in the middle. He's 5. They're really close, like Irish twins. And then we got a 2-year-old as of today, man. My baby girl. Shout out to Corey.
Happy birthday.
She's been eating snacks since like 9 a.m. this morning. So living her best life, man. And we're just trying to do the same, man.
That's what's up, man. It sounds like you might be just a little moderately busy. You got any time to watch these Tigers this season?
Woo! Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to make time. Sometimes you don't got a reason to make time.
Yeah, man.
For real. I try to keep up with the scores. I've had a chance to speak with Coach Drink. Seems like a good dude, but I really just don't know, what's going to happen, with the rest of the season. But, happy we beat Vanderbilt for whatever that means. But Shoot, man, I just want to see us go out there.
How frustrating is it for you watching the defense? Like, truly, I know
keep it real.
I know. Yeah, I know how much pride. I know that's why you can't watch it.
Bro, it's been horrible for me to watch that, man, because even it's still like a complex that I have. Like, I feel like we were always like inferior to you guys on offense,
Well, I mean, you were, but like y'all was still good.
Facts. I think that's what kept me with that chip on my shoulder. Because as soon as I got there, I had a little success. Then the next year, I had a lot of success, and then I pretty much just duplicated my second year for the next, 2 years. So that was something that kept me going. And just watching them now, like the defenses. I mean, it's been really bad. So I can't sit down and watch a whole game. I just check the stat line, and I'm just disappointed, man. And I know Steve Wilkes. I've had a chance to meet him, play against, teams that he's coached for. And I know the system works, man. So it's just like, do we have the guys, or it does that system still work, because ball does change, and we're talking about college football. So, we got to make some changes, man. I don't know if we necessarily need to get people out of there, but it's like the way you go about, doing it. I need to see like some like, we got to see a little elevation toward the end of the year, right?
Yeah. So, Spoon, do you see, when you're watching the game, you look at the defense, are you seeing blown assignments? Are you seeing a lack of effort? Like, what are you looking at? What do you see as those players are out there? And what would you tell the team, those guys that are out there with you? What do you see the problem is?
I'm going to run your ass. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run you because, like, you ain't running to the ball. They taking turns messing up right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, I see, like, okay, we're going to do it this time. Somebody jumping around a block, the ball is, they hitting their head on the goalpost. So, we're gonna either fix that, or we're going to have to do a little bit more conditioning. I want to keep my guys fresh, but I also got to send a message. So I think if I was in position there, I would definitely, show them that the effort that we're seeing, especially that Tennessee game. Oh no, man, that Tennessee game, like that was the straw that broke this camel's back, bro. Because Tennessee, man, they've been struggling for years, and then,
coach.
I know they got a good offense, but they ain't supposed to score 70 points on us at our place, bro.
Not at home.
That's tough. So we're gonna run their ass, Tommy, and we're gonna make sure we're gonna get them assignments corrected, man. Because if you ain't gonna do it right, you're not gonna be out there. I don't care who I gotta put out there. Because if we losing by 60 points, it don't matter who out there anyway.
Yep.
So do you think it's from your point of view, then, do you think it's lack of effort, or do you think it's personnel, or do you think it's just both and that is what it is?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both, but I think now that you see like how bad they can be, I don't think the guys have seen. Hopefully this win against Vanderbilt can kind of, you get something going, but Vanderbilt moved the ball up and down the field, and that went to the end of the game too. So, it's not a lot you can take from the game to have like a moral victory. Like, only thing is that we won. So Beatty is the guy who's getting all the love, and he's out there, making a lot of the plays, and I got love for him. But at the same time, on offense, it doesn't look that great either. And I think I kind of was looking forward to the quarterback to come out. Is it Bazelak, he said? Mm-hmm. I was looking forward to him to take those strides that everybody kind of said he was going to take. So I haven't seen too much of that. So, I see the kids signing, though. That's the promise right there, man. Luther Burke. You know what I'm saying? We got, what's the kid? West. I think his last name is West, or whoever's going to be the quarterback with Luther. They got like a pack, might be Horn or West. I can't think of his name. Mm-hmm. They look like they got something going. He's a kid from Georgia that's a 4-star, big quarterback. And I'm hoping that, these guys can kind of come in and turn the tide on offense. Because like I said, in college football, defense going to give up some stuff. Like when we were with you guys score so often. Shoot, we had to go out there and just get it how we get it,
Stop them twice and we're good.
That's it. Yep.
Stop them a few times, a couple timely takeaways. Run for 200 yards. 200 yards just takes the ball out of your offense's hand, bro. We can't have that.
Yep. It reminds me a lot of Coach Pinko's early years when he was starting to get have a little bit of success on the field, but like not what you wanted to see, but he was getting the recruits that later on down the line then translated into his success, which turned into his legacy.
Gotta keep our fingers crossed.
Absolutely. So for you, what would a successful end of the season look like? Moving forward, going from here, at the end of the year, what would it take for the Tigers to do for you to say they had a pretty successful season?
Well, I know this weekend is not going to be much we can take from this weekend, man. I live here in Georgia.
Yeah.
I think their consensus, their defense, like everybody going to the league.
Yeah.
So
they can beat the Jaguars right now.
I wouldn't expect you. They gonna get them.
They got some men on that team
much this week, but like the Vanderbilt game, I wanted to see us kind of dominate that game, not necessarily win convincingly. Let's just say that. So the teams that we should have a fight with, I want to see us kind of beat those teams by a score more. And I think that kind of 2 scores would be great, but a score or just maybe 10 points, 10-point victories, that's something that I could smile about.
Right.
But I just don't know. I got to check out the schedule and see who we got coming up. But I know this week ain't the week to be starting, and I'm not making that trip. I'm going to see Metallica Saturday night. Shout out to the Braves too, man. The Braves beat my squad last night. I'm an Astros fan, you know what I'm saying? I know you KC guys, y'all hate the Stros. They done stole the championship from y'all and all that. I done heard it all over the week.
We don't need to go back down that road, man.
But man, the Braves did that thing, and that's where Metallica going to be on Saturday night at Truist Park, and I'm going to be in the number. And I don't even know much about Metallica, but my buddies here in the A, they invited me, man, so I'm going to go and support.
That's awesome, man. Be safe.
Right. Thank you.
So let's talk a little. Oh, go ahead, Tommy.
Yeah, I would say, just talk about, what I remember about Sean Weatherspoon was he had the most energy out of anybody, always excited, always hyped, all the time. In practice, after a loss, in the snow, at Big 12, it didn't matter. Spoon is the same person all the time. Where did that come from? Just always giving everything you have, in all aspects. And I mean, you're always present with people too. You're so personable and would talk to everybody. Where did that come from? Man?
I think that came from my mom, man. Because like my dad would always say like things like, "Well, you don't want to go to the store with your mama." Like she gonna talk to everybody. She gonna smile. She gonna look you in the eye. She gonna be a listening ear, as well as if you got something going on, she gonna support you and be there. As much as she can. And I feel like that kind of bled into me. And man, if I'm gonna be a part of it, I want to be a part of it all the way. Like I said, I've been getting into music for a while, but I can't go out there on the same playing field with Jay-Z when I ain't put that work in. Like I understand that, you have to be where your feet are. You have to be present. And enthusiasm is free. That's something Coach Hill would always say. So shout out to Coach Hill. They got a W the other night too. I think he's still in KC, right?
Yep.
Dope. But he always said, enthusiasm is free. And I realized at a young age, like, if you got to fake it till you make it. If I smile, somebody else might see it. They might be smiling. It might change their day, So I don't take it for granted, that a smile can go a long way. And that if you're alive and breathing, bro, you got to get to it the best way you know how. So every day I just felt like it was a blessing that I was upright. I was kind of like one of them guys, man. I was like, am I supposed to be here? Like that's like when you guys met me, it's like, I had this, mentally, I know what I got to do and, what I come to do, but it's just like, but Coach Pinker ain't come to my house. And then it's, and they like, oh yeah, Pinker came to my house. J-Mac just talking, I'm like, bro, I'm about to go out here and smack all these fools. You know what I'm saying? Like they seen Coach Steck and Coach Eberflus. Shoot, that was, Coach Pinker didn't even know it. But that was something right there. I was like, man, they got me messed up, man. I'm Spoon Jones. I wasn't even Spoon Jones yet. Not yet. I wasn't even Spoon Jones yet. But I'm like, man, they got me messed up, man. I'm coming in here and I'm ready to do it, man. So I think that's something that just kept me with having that edge to just know that like, none of this is a right. This is a privilege that we got a chance to go to Mizzou to play ball, to start a family and do all that things because of ball and meet all these great people that have become a part of your life forever. So, man, I just, like I said, man, just never taking it for granted and knowing that at the drop of a dime, it could be taken away, man. Even here in Atlanta, when I was injured, not able to play, man, I was traveling with the team. I'm like the only dude on IR traveling with the team. I'm out here limping, giving these dudes everything I got, bro, to just try to see them be successful, man. And I think it's paid off. It's paid off, man. I look around at some of the guys that were around me, and I know it came from being around guys like, you guys, like Tommy, your work ethic. Man, I ain't seen nobody in the pro game work the way you. I'm gonna just keep it real.
It's
Tony
true.
Gonzalez, you know, I know he was older. He was putting in that work, but he was only working the top of the route. You know what I'm saying? Tony be at the top of the route. Can't, you know what I'm saying? Because he already know, like, I gotta save these knees up until I get to this point. So,
Right.
man, like I said, man, like like the politician that you are, as well as what you put out there on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew that was something that I need to gravitate to. Okay, I can pull this from that. People don't know I stayed with you when I first went to school. You know, so I was learning that, you know, you got to be enthusiastic. Who's more enthusiastic than Ruck about getting out there and having some fun and enthusiastic about everything? Like you said, Tommy, even if we going to Big 12, we're gonna be the most excited people in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of that comes from my childhood, but it also comes from a lot of the people that I was around. And then you can see these guys that I was around that are youngsters when I was with them, but they're elevating now. Like, you guys gonna see it up close this weekend because my boy Devondre Campbell coming into town. He's the middle linebacker for the Packers.
Yeah.
And, you know, I actually married Devondre and his wife this past offseason.
Man does it all,
bro.
Man does everything. Can't do anything.
I had to get official with it, you know. So,
yeah.
And I was like, what? They asked me to do that. So that just showed me that it was like I meant something to them. My friendship to them, for them to ask me that, you know, it said something about me and my upbringing and who I've been around. And so I went and did it, man. And Devondre, he was drafted here in 2016. Deion Jones was drafted here in 2016. And they're two of my young guys who I see just, you know, going out there and taking ball by the horns and just, you know, becoming men and just balling out. So, man, you know, to each one, teach one. You got to, you know, pass it on. That's what I'm going to continue to try to do.
Man, so I remember, you know, when you're an upperclassman, any freshman, it's like you got to prove that you're good before I give you the respect that you deserve. Man, I remember in a scrimmage, I caught this hitch. I squared my guy up, made a miss. I'm about to take off, and I just get blasted. I get blasted by the side. I was like, who was that? And it was you. Like, great catch, man. Great job. I was like, what? Ribs. I know, like, my ribs are bleeding, right? I'm like, no. Did he just try to destroy me? He tried to destroy me, and then he's going to tell me good catch? What's he trying to do? You trying to play with me? I'm like, you just trying to play with me, man.
Got to play the mind games. That's what my dad played college ball. You know, he didn't make it to pros, but he always told me, like, when he played defense in high school, and he said he'd be knocking them out and patting them on the ass and telling them good job, telling them back to the hub. You know, and like, so sometimes, bro, I would be out there, I would be out there just singing Usher. And just like, bro, the people would be like, do you ever shut up? Like it's in the pro game. Like, what's my boy? Donald Penn. Bro, big tackle, bro. He's like, man, don't nobody talk like you, and don't nobody run to that ball. Like, he's like, bro, how do you do it?
Right. Absolutely.
And I'm gonna be doing it all day.
Yeah.
All day.
Holding me back, like, Spoon, get your ass in the huddle. I'm like, bro, don't mess with me out here. Hey, this where I get to tap in, bro. Like, it's a privilege.
Trying to get it down right here, right?
And I'm gonna be accountable. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's funny. I remember, because like you said, you stayed with me your first year, and I can remember in the weight room, like you said, Coach Pinko didn't come to your house. You was a 3-star, 2-star.
2-star, bro. You
2-star.
know
I remember watching you in the weight room, and I was like, this kid is a 2-star? Man, I don't know. I mean, he may not have ball skills or something, but this joker can move some weight. He fast too. We just need to have some people to teach him how to play. He gonna be all right. And
telling you, I think the thing was, like, in high school, you know, you want the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And in Jasper, you know, I was always seen as a guy that can do everything, you know? So, like, if they got a guy who can only run straight, you know, they're going to put him at running back. You know, he might have a jump cut or something. But, like, since I could go backwards, I can go forward, I can hoop, I could do baseball, I did all the other things. Mm-hmm. They were like, you could be my emergency quarterback. You're going to be the starting receiver.
Yeah.
Spread us out. And they kind of tricked me like that because I feel like I needed that ball, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I had that complex towards y'all. I'm like, these fools get the, you know what I'm saying? Like, but when I got to school, it was like, now I have one thing to focus on.
Yep.
You know, so like now I can kind of grow, you know, mentally as well as kind of come into my build. And like, I think that just worked out. But in Jasper, Texas, bro, they got you in that weight room. Like at the end of your 8th grade year, it's time.
Get swole.
It's time.
Get swole to get out.
I never do my kids like that. But I ain't gonna lie. It helped me out at a time, but sometimes I think back and I'm like, bro, all that weight I was lifting, bro. I'm like, man, is there a correlation with, being in? Because I would always do it correctly. I did everything they asked me to do, but maybe I just maxed out. You know what I'm saying? And I think that could have taken away from my opportunity to extend my playing career professionally. Because I ain't miss a play at Mizzou.
Yeah.
I probably missed like a little bit in the spring, but they probably put me in a red jersey, and I was out there red jersey by their next practice. By 11-11, Coach Steck, I want you out there red jersey. That boy turned me into a Marine.
No, I don't know if you guys are like this, but all players that are younger than me, I always remember whenever I knew they were cold, right? Mm-hmm. And so I remember you're playing as a true freshman, and I went to watch, and I believe I don't know if it was your first play. You blocked the punt. It was your first play, right?
Bro, my first play, I knocked out Austin Lane from Murray State, who getting drafted by the Jaguars, had a little stint with the Chiefs, I think a little bit too. But Austin was like this big old dude, like 6'5", like 240. He might have been 230. He was a little light in the pants running down on kickoff. I was on kickoff return. So my first play was like a D-cleater block. But then later in that game, like my first punt return team, I ended up blocking one.
Yo, I'm telling you, I remember. Okay, so I remember because you're on punt return. I was a returner, and that day you had so much energy. I was like, dog, I have to watch him because in practice you were killing whatever. I have to go watch, and I didn't go to the offense. I watched you, and you destroyed whoever's in front of you. You blocked the punt, and then you got up and you were like this, and it was the first time I saw you do that. I was like, dog, this man is cold.
And Coach Pinkle's going to kill him for celebrating.
Yes, and you got 1,000 yards of gassers. But, hey, in the stadium, hey, cold.
Bro, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up, man. Bro, you know what I'm saying? I remember that vividly, bro. I remember just like feeling like, man, we better than them. Like, and I'm not even talking about y'all. I'm talking about the twos. We felt like we in the ones, So like, man, that game was like the first time in life that a coach has ever told me something was 100% and I could trust it. Because when Murray State lined up in like I slot, they ran power to the strength of our defense. So, bro, we was smacking on. Dude name was Josh Jones. He was J-Mac's high school running back.
Oh, hang on real quick. Listen, anybody that's watching this podcast, this is Spoon right here. He knows every single player that he plays against, where they went to high school, and then he has a backstory on them. He's like, oh, you know what? He went to prom with Cardi B, and then his first cousin is actually Kim Kardashian's nephew's son.
Bro, that is true, bro. I pick up on like everything so I can kind of use it, bro. Like, I was like, in the game, I'm like, oh, he went to high school with J-Mac? Oh, okay.
Oh, he's sorry.
I'm like, you couldn't even go to the zoo. And I'm like, boy, you played it. Boy, look at you at Murray State. You know what I'm saying? Disrespecting dude. You know what I'm saying?
No, you soft.
Right.
Bro, we put so many hats on that dude. He ended up being on that picture in the Maxey Center when we played Murray State. Like, it's like 6 Tigers, like
taking him to the ground.
Bro, we got dude hemmed up, bro. And I never let that die down, bro. Like, every time I saw him, as well as other players that I played against, like, I always remember like the little things about them. I feel like it's not talked about, because I play linebacker, but I would literally know everything about a player. The same way Tom Brady go up and know everybody's name after the game. Like, if you make a play against Tom Brady, he'll be like, hey, nice job, Weatherspoon. He know everything about people, but I put in that same work. Like when I was studying the game and like getting ready for my, competition. In college, it came easy. You didn't have to game plan as much. You didn't know as much. But like when I met Curtis Lofton, I was like, I remember you had that weird little eye on your picture, like the bio picture. Kurt was like kind of holding his eye funny. Your eye ain't messed up. I thought he was the game or something when we was in college. I'll be remembering all that stuff, bro. They call me a little sports almanac or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's funny.
So funny.
Well, let's transition, man, a little bit into the music. Talk about how you went from the field to the booth, man. What's that been like, and what you got going on for us right now?
Yeah, I'm eager to talk about it too, man. Because
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched the Wu-Tang, the American Saga on Hulu, but you guys need to do yourself a favor and check that out. But like my company is literally like in the same like it's like in the beginning stages of where like you're trying to like get it out there, right? So it's called Can't Be Contained. I was always at Mizzou, bro. Y'all remember like you don't get to go home when guys go home for Thanksgiving and all that. You might get to go eat, but you gotta get back, you know.
So y'all came to my house 3 hours away, and then we went back to school.
Hey, the Rucker show, much love. Tommy, you did the same for your young guys. I remember Denario talking about, watching. He was at the game watching Champ Bay. I remember y'all. I mean, Chiefs probably played the Broncos. He watching all that. He's like, man, he ain't even backpedaling. You picking up stuff from everywhere. But anyway, we get back to school, and we got that time. So that boy Kevin Rutland, his brother, Kevin, they all smart as him. It's like super smart. His brother's like an engineer. He built K-Rut's computer. So K-Rut come to school with his own computer built by his brother with the capabilities like to bypass we still getting stuff off LimeWire because we got something like firewall that protect us. You know what I'm saying? So K-Rut, man, they was like serious with it. So after we moved out the dorm, we used to just get drunk and freestyle in the dorm. You know what I'm saying? When you ain't have to do it. And so we moved out the dorm. Now we got our house. We got the crib at Copper Beach. K-Rut, Denario, Dale Howard, myself, J Mac, Jared Perry, even my boy Book, Gangsta Book. And one more, Rah. It's 8 guys living in 2 houses, right? So we just, man, K-Rut had to set up. We had like the McDonald's headphone, you just put it on, you get in the booth real quick, So the first song they did, I missed it. But I had FOMO like a mug. I went back and cut a song to the same beat. Nobody was even in there. I'm like, but I got to get mine. They got me messed up. I'm spooned up. And so like the love for music just came from growing up, singing and, being in church and being a part of choirs and just kicking it in Jasper. You got to find something to do in Jasper, man. It's like, it's small town, ain't much going on, but every Sunday you better believe that that church van gonna pull up and be, like, boy, you better get to Sunday school. So I was a part of the choir, man, and then I ended up leading into the school choir. And then, like I said, we just chilling at the zoo. We at Copper Beach, and we got the mic, so we just started getting it in, man. And then some of the guys on the team heard some of the freestyles we was doing, and it was funny. You know what I'm saying? We was capping on people. I think we had one to that Genuine Song Differences. It was like, my whole life has changed since you came. But we was like, you too old for video games. So we was like capping on the guys who like just sit there playing the game all day because we kind of start growing out of the game. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't we just play like rushing attack instead of like a whole game. Take too long, man. And Mac Breed, he used to be a little serious about them games. So
he's still serious about them games, bro.
I already know.
Throw your Xbox through the wall if you beat them.
Games, real games too.
Yeah, man.
It's not a game. So we just started, cooking up, man. And then Kevin Rutland, he had the same type of upbringing in the church. Denario was the one that was like tapped into what I was tapped into musically all the time. K-Rut, it was more of the R&B. We connected on that a lot, and it's just the Houston rap rap scene that was like freestyle. The Mike Jones, the DJ Screw, Zero, all them guys from Texas. They had the game in a chokehold right before we came to school too. So it was like you kind of had to respect it. Then I think I had the Mike Jones. I stay flossing in that candy paint. That was my ringtone. Ruck was like, oh, Spoon Jones. It was Mike Jones and ringtone, and it just kind of stuck, bro. And somehow, bro, I got here to Atlanta. Them people calling me Spoon Jones on like our beat writers. I never said that to them, bro. Really? I don't know where it came from. I think maybe the other linebackers that heard or they knew, and they started telling them that, and then that ended up being, that's my artist name as well as my social media name too. But man, we started kicking them rhymes, having some fun, and Denario started cooking them beats up. One time that it was like once we were juniors, he started kind of producing us, and like people don't even know this, but Denario, he was going through a lot, like with his leg, and so he was kind of locked in the room, and just his outlet was music. So he was cooking up the beats, and me, He'd always summon us for a verse or something like that. So everybody used to come kick it at Gateway. Then once we moved from Copper Beach, we go to Gateway.
That's when the Scully checks got bigger.
Hey.
we go to Gateway and go chill with them boys. And just, damn, bro. So, man, once I got to the league, I was like, we kept doing it. My boy Gil, Gangsta Gil. Gil
Roy.
He came out. He's from Jasper too. He went to Mizzou as well. Y'all know I'm just giving the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
But he came to the A. He was like my henchman. Here I am, I'm 22 years old. You know what I'm saying? Getting drafted to the A. I'm like, man, where's Buford, Georgia? It's like an hour north of Atlanta. So we just kick it. I go to work. I come home. Gil got a whole Pro Tools session up. Like look, you should see this beat I made, this song I made. We just started getting on other people's beats, and then some of my teammates messed with the music. We just kept kicking it. So I moved into a house. I ended up putting the studio in the house, and then we just started getting more official with it. And at one point, my brother DeVelius, he's older than me. He was making a living off music. And they were doing shows. He was promoting parties. He was rapping. He was doing, you know what I'm saying? He was quite into that. And I think he ended up just really getting more so like discouraged with the music. So he ended up moving out here too, but he didn't move where I live. He moved like an hour away from me, but he'd always come through. And we just started bringing in producers and meeting people and just kind of, doing some little, just some home stuff, just DIY, do it yourself. We wasn't paying for no engineers, none of that type of stuff. We just kind of learning. And so people would hear it, be like, bro, that's kind of fire. That's kind of fire. So it just kept getting to the point where I just kept working at it. But I was like, man, I got to let Atlanta know that I'm about this ball. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Obviously, Willie Moe was pulling up too. Now let's go there. Right. Boy, Will Moe was pulling up in the booth. He was going right, everything. He thought he was real Puff Daddy. Both things. Get in there, do this, do it, and get out of there. Like, bro, I got to write mine down, bro. Like, hey, I can freestyle, but it ain't gonna be about nothing. My freestyle is gonna be about what I see. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be Tommy on the right, Rucker on the left.
Got a tree in the back and a light on the ceiling.
We gotta get this together, bro. We just can't. I'm saying? But that's my dog, man. And we just kept doing it, man. I sold the house in 2015, 14, 15. And I lost my studio, man. And then I had a baby. So it was like, I'm find that space to do I was in the closet when I got to Arizona. I was in the closet in my house, bro, but I was not inspired at all. Arizona was just like, I was there for work. You feel me? Yeah. I loved Arizona though. Like our team was great. We were super stacked. And, a few of the guys were into music too, but, I ain't let them hear too much. But when I let them hear it, they were like, bro, that's you, So it was like, I come back to the A, and then I ended up getting a studio outside of my place because, the family's growing again. I had a son. So we really ain't got no space for my little extracurricular activities. And so I had to sacrifice and go out and find a space. And I met some artists, man. I met some producers. I met some pretty cool people. And so one of the producers I met, his name was Trey Beats. He was like 16 years old in his mom's garage working on music. And the next thing you know, his music is on Can't Feel My Face, with Wayne and Jewels. Like he produced them, made beats for them. He's produced for Gucci Mane. He's produced for Chris Brown. Like got some ballads, trap, some hip hop guys, real R&B based, but got that bounce. And so Trey and I, we formed a partnership. And then we was working out at Opry trying to get his production, just trying to get him placed. So we placed a few records. We actually placed one together with this girl named Light Skin Keisha. She's more like an online presence, TikTok, Instagram. She had a dope song that we did with her. And I kind of executive produced like from the side, just kind of, oh, that sound good. That don't sound good or whatever. And we was kind of getting at that for a while. But that really wasn't as satisfying as because I want to make my own music, but I want to make some money with, my partner to segue into, not, you don't want to, put yourself out there all the way because the music industry will eat that money up and be so it's kind of like you got to do it the right way. You feel me? So I got with my boy Trey Beats. We got a great relationship. He actually in my studio right now. That's why I ain't in my studio. He ain't there sleep. And so him and I got together and I found this kid, Sidney Breedlove. Sidney, he's a dope artist, man. He's from, that's his real name. He reminds me of Andre 3000.
Okay.
Sidney's he's quite young. He's about 4 or 5 years younger than me. Mm-hmm. He looks like a baby. So Sid is just he's real lyrical, like, so I really attach to that because, I like the fact that you write it down, it's thoughtful, and it sounds good, and you can make people move with it. And he's shown I vetted him for like the past 2 or 3 years, and then basically I was like, okay, let's get it together. So this past year during the pandemic, I just hit the go on it. I'm like, bro, so I signed bro up. We working on his single right now, man. So we've been pressing that up, getting that together, and it's a process, but we think we got a chance to carve something out here in this last quarter and try to segue that into like being really active in this first quarter of next year, being at South by Southwest, CIAA in Baltimore. We got these, Atlanta's like a hub for it. So, you can get it buzzing outside of Atlanta, everybody gonna wanna in Atlanta gonna start wanting it. And this kid, he's from Atlanta by way of Columbus, like he's lived here as an adult, but he's from Columbus, and you grow up looking at the big city just like I grew up looking at Houston. Like, man, like this is super cool. So you're inspired by it, So we working on that, man, and we got some good guys on the team, man. My boy Soup Payne, his brother named Ty Payne. There's some dope guys from up near Buffalo in Erie, Pennsylvania, and they've done a lot of good things for us as well with writing and managing studio, engineering, and artists as well. But we got to do it the right way. We're not gonna be like No Limit now. We not. We gotta get there. You feel me? But we feel like we start with a single, we can build something and kind of monetize that. Then we know to keep putting our foot forward and investing in the business.
So, well, that's super dope, man. That you turn this hobby into a business.
Hey, I'm trying to monetize that. Once I do that, then my wife will be quiet. You feel me?
Yeah.
Hey. And then I can be, I'm gonna be on the road, but I'm gonna take the kids with me, man. You feel me?
Right.
That's cool.
We got to rock together, bro. I think my wife, she's my greatest. You know what I'm saying? That's my greatest accomplishment. She's my best asset.
There you go.
I know if anybody gonna tell me what's wrong and what's right, it's gonna be her, and I know she's gonna be supportive the same way I will be of her, man. So that's where we are with it, man. And then man, it's a blessing right now, man. I got the studio at home, so I ain't gotta pay for none of that. We can just get it till we get it right. We don't get it right, I sell all this equipment and just start freestyling with my kids.
Be on the studio, baby.
Right. And that was what I was gonna ask. You've always had a great head on your shoulders. You always take coaching, had great balance. From what I saw with you, one thing when you went to the league from a distance, it's like with this music and you're starting a business, how do you stay focused and not get outside of your I would say, how do you separate all the different avenues you have? I know you have your foundation, right? Mm-hmm. And you're giving back to the community. Talk a little bit about that, but how do you not take this giving, you're so giving of everything, and not take that and link this over into your business and not give too much to an artist, or just because you like that relationship, or put too much money and invest too much money into your music? How do you stay balanced and level-headed with everything and not let that overlap, or your confidence? Because I know you can do anything, right?
Man, so great question, Tom.
If you put the capital into it, it's going to be successful. But the fact that you haven't dropped an album yet, and you haven't shot 27 music videos, right? You're doing it. I know you're doing it the right way. How do you stay balanced and not overstep?
Well, I think the main thing that I've always figured out, like just speaking about my wife and my family, like I've always tried to keep the main thing. And I know in order for, my business to grow, there has to be a supporting cast around that helps that. Just like in football, like when I got to Atlanta, I started to see all the pieces of the entertainment industry and how they made the team successful, how they put the team in front of everybody. And, they're different. Like you got the training staff, you got the equipment staff, you got, all these different things that help the main thing go. So I just always know I can't overextend myself to where my family is not able to be taken care of. And the artists and the producers that I work with, that I have a relationship with, a business relationship with, they understand wholeheartedly where I'm at with it. And they know, like, we're not jumping off no cliffs. Like we figure it out. And I've drugged my feet with them, but that's just something that I've had to do because I have to make sure that it's right. Because I went to Magic City, which is the famous strip club here, right? And so we're working the record. So I want to hear the record over the PA system, you know, in the club over the big speakers, and you know, we're mixing it, we're mastering it, all that process. So we take it up there, and I speak to Mr. Magic, and Mr. Magic, I mean, you guys know Magic City probably on the same level. You probably feel like Magic City on the same level as like Home Depot and the Falcons. Like everybody know that it's a mainstay here. That business has been going on for a long time, and here I am with the access to Mr. Magic to tell me, you know, like, hey, you know, you got to get it right now. You got a lot to lose, more than these people that's backed by all. And I'm like, that's the same reason why I'm in here today, researching this record. That's the same reason why I haven't been throwing money here, throwing money there. Like, I'm gonna do it the right way. And what I wanted to do, I got this lady. Man, she's a GOAT. Her name is Wendy Day. And so Wendy is a consultant. She's a music consultant. But Wendy, she put Eminem on the plane to go do that event where he came in second place at that battle that helped him get into Dre's, you know, vicinity. She helped Master P sign that non-exclusive deal with Priority Records that allowed him to get his own, you know, No Limit, to put that she just loves hip hop, and she's helped a lot of independent people monetize their business as well as get them out of shitty deals. I'm sorry.
You good? Mizzou, sponsored by 360 Rocket.
Hey, yeah.
Boy, Spoon tripping.
Hey, we don't know anything about Magic City. We don't know. We never heard of it. Never heard of anything about it. Never. We don't know. But I like that
Magic
you said you're
City
going
is
to
the
do
number
research.
one gentleman's club in Atlanta. So like,
that's how Ruck does his research too, huh, Ruck?
Yeah,
they never heard of it.
They dropping the record. If the record's being played in Magic City, and the dancers are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and you can tell what type of record you got, you know. So that's like a part of the research, like just to figure out if we're on the right path, you know, like with the record. But
product development. Hey, yeah, I like that. I like that spin on that. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm not relying on anybody to do this for me. I'm doing this hands-on with my artist, with my producer, along with, you know, my music consultant, Wendy Day, who was just like, you know, I feel like she has a great like track record in the industry where she can put me in front of the right people to where I'm not getting took, you know. Right. So she's been a great asset for me. And I mean, even if it's not business, you know, like I can just call her like she the big homie, you know. So it's just a certain way you got to do it to where you know you ain't overextending yourself, man. And we gonna always give back, man, because we've been blessed with way too much to not give back to others, man. And I think, you know, my mom instilled that in me from a long time ago. My buddies would come over in high school, be like at the table talking to my mom, like, bro, we supposed to be out. Well, we about to get out of here. Pouring into those kids, man. And they didn't come from a two-parent home like me all the time.
Right.
And those guys were able to go out and they had some hope. And I think they fought for their lives and their careers, and they're successful people, man. So I know that my foundation, Spoonful of Hope, we're on the right path. We just got to keep going. We're gearing up for our big Thanksgiving event, which is called Spoon Feed the Family, man. We're going to just go to the hood and just drop them turkeys off, man, knock on them doors and just
Nino Brown, baby.
I'm going to take my artist with me. Yes, sir. I'm going to take my artist with me, get some good look. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, look at me. Because he wants to do these type of things. He's like this kid. Nipsey Hussle is kind of like his favorite, you know, like kind of what Nipsey stands for. Like, it's a lot of similarities. And he's going to be different because he's a rapper, but he's also like intelligent. You know, I don't think a lot of the rappers are putting out, you know, stuff that's very thoughtful. And I think that's where we're going to be able to hit them like that. And that's why it's called Can't Be Contained, because, you know, you think just because somebody doing music, they got to be making clubs, songs and all that. And although we know we got to come in the game a certain way, you know, our record don't got one cuss word in it. You know what I'm saying? But it's at Magic City is popping, you know, but it's kid friendly. You know? So like, so we on the right path, man. And we're gonna just try to keep that going, and with prayer and hard work, man. I don't think we can really, you know, be contained. No pun intended, but
yeah.
Man, Spoon, I think it's coming through the screen. Anytime I get to talk to you, anytime you're on the field, your authentic self just always comes through. You are the same person at all times, and you always just have such a passion for people and pouring yourself into people. You know, I think one of the things, kind of as we're wrapping up the show, you know, you have so much passion. How did when you had kids, how did your life change? How did, you know, really focus on yourself and getting your goals? How did it change when you had kids and you're starting to instill those same principles? And how have you like learned to instill those principles into your kids? And when you give them, let them go and figure stuff out on your own, and when you sit them down. So kind of what's Sean Weatherspoon as a dad, and what has that journey been like?
Ooh, man, I can just remember like when I was in the studio, my wife, girlfriend at the time, not on the best terms, she comes down to the studio and is like crying. I'm like, man, what's going on? I'm pregnant. And I was like, oh, baby, don't be crying. You know, but like she was looking at it like she grew up Catholic. We're supposed to be married. We've been dating. Like we had our baby in 2015. We started dating like 2008-ish. We started hanging out 2007-ish. And then like, so it was a long time up to that point. So I know she was about tired of me. And so I had to get it together immediately, you know, and I think the best thing was like leaving Atlanta, you know, because I had been out here in Atlanta and I wasn't doing right, you know, so I was playing ball, reaping the benefits of, you know, the status and everything and just, you know, having a good time, staying focused on my job, always doing my job. But like when you battle with injuries and all these type of things, like it's a lot of things that can get in your way and like kind of get you off your path. And so I feel like when my daughter came, it just kind of, it was an enlightening thing, you know, it was kind of like a beacon. And she was just, you know, she kind of just told me everything I needed to tell everybody else in my life. And it was like, don't call me no more for no money. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look here, man. I do what I can. When you see this baby, like this is my life. You see this woman, like we starting a family together, and like you got to respect that, you know. And I think I really had a time doing it. It was not easy just to say like, hey, we can't do this, we can't do that. But when you got help, it helps you, you know. And so then, you know, just seeing my kids it softened me. I saw the reality of everything. You know, I watched Law and Order. Like after I had a kid, I was really seeing that. I was like, like that a tear? Like I know this is a show, but Dick Wolf done got me today.
Oh yeah, Dick be getting you now.
Like, jeez, boy, this is serious. When I realized like all this stuff, like these are stories, these are people's stories.
Yeah,
this is your story. So you gotta, you know, take advice. Good and bad. Listen to it all because you can learn from both. You know, if somebody tells you some bad advice, if you don't do it, then you know that's good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So learn from them. That was some BS, and I figured that out. Like, no, I'm not doing that. You got to write that down. You know, and you can be smart or you can be wise. And you know, smart is good, but that's learning from your own mistakes. Wise is, you know, listening to others and kind of applying that to your life. And so now, as a dad, now that I have 3, I'm just trying to talk to them, Tommy. Like I'm trying to explain things, like, and I love how they ask me the questions, and I really gotta. Sometimes I have to I might not have the answer right away. I gotta be like, I gotta word this right. And so it taught me to be more patient, understanding, and you know, I have to understand that you know life is real, and whatever you make of it is how it's going to be. So you got to really take care of your business, man. So that's the journey I'm on, man. Just trying to continue to do that and continue to pour into those kids. That's why I coach my son's team. That's why I take my daughter to her gymnastic practice. Like I change diapers. I'm that dad. Like I try to just speak it to them and just we ain't talked about the birds and the bees yet. They young, but you know the stuff that they ask me. Shoot, I try to give it to them and just try to you know make sure that they have all the resources they need for them to grow up, and live their best lives and be their best versions of themselves.
And you mentioned coaching. How is it coaching your son? I can't only imagine. People ask me all the time, are you going to let him play football? Are you going to coach him? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to let him play. But I'm probably not going to coach. I don't think it will be healthy for either one of us.
Right.
I'm going to coach. Right.
We got a PhD in this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got it. You know, so, man, we can really help him. But at the same time, like, when you out there, you're not getting the results you want, bro. You feel like, you know, you're like, hey, but I'm just being real patient, bro. Like, because I watched my brother coach his son. Yeah. And my brother, he is the opposite. I'm at the game, I'm like, Junior, bro, chill out, man. Like, let the boy just. I'm like, bro. So I watch him, and then my wife's like, you're going to be just like him. And then I'm totally the opposite. But I do like other kids, I'll be like, oh, this is what you got to do. But if something that Sean knows, I'm like, bro, you want to go in the dugout? I'm like, bro, because we ain't come out here for this today. You know, like, you go chill if you want to, but you ain't going to play in the dirt. You're going to pay attention, and you're going to set a good example. And that's all I need for him to do is go out there and be a kid. But when coach talk, I'm trying to teach them, like, somebody's an authoritative figure speaking, you guys should be paying attention and getting the game. You know, if that's school and that's whatever. We go to school, and all these teachers giving us good reports. He out there on the field, and don't want to pay attention. I'm like, bro, you see the correlation there? Like that ain't right.
Yeah.
So I got to get him right. But I take it easy out there, man. I just realized that it ain't all about winning right now. They're 5 years old. I got to teach them the fundamentals, and I'm teaching them to go out there and have fun and just be respectful. And I think they'll keep going. They'll keep going at it if I continue to be like that. But I think when they're older, I might have to step away. Because I remember my dad, bro. He'd be at them games. He coached me when I was young, then he backed off. And that was the best thing for me because he used to sit on like the other side of the stadium with his dad. They would go sit over there and watch the game, kind of like away from everybody else, and that allowed me to just kind of just grow, instead of always having to worry about what dad thinks. So I want them to know, like, I don't care what you do, but you're going to do it the best you can do it. And it ain't got to be what dad say do, though. You go after it, whatever you love, and I'm with you.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. You touched on this a little bit, but talk a little bit about Spoonful of Hope. I've seen it on social media a lot, and I know you guys have been doing it for a while, but for our folks out here, some people may not have heard about it and may even want to get involved. So talk a little bit about it. What do you guys do? How can we or they, all of us, get involved and help you out with your mission?
Man, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man. So it was inspired, like I said, by my mom, just always giving back to our community. But when I got to Atlanta, you're in that rookie club on that first year.
Yeah.
But every Tuesday, on your only day off, you out there in the community, getting it in. And if at first, you're like, what?
Trying to chill, man.
I just left Magic City Monday. I was giving back. And he's like, oh no, we gotta go. We gotta go.
What's wrong with you?
First day I go, we go like to the Atlanta Men's Mission and like we help feed the homeless. Bro, you should have seen how happy them. Ain't none of us made no plays. They looking at it. Oh, thank you. I was like, bro, it ain't about the football. I say it's something else. I was like, man, this just us spending our time with them, and we're associated with this football team. Yeah. These people like have a connection because they're in this city. This team is of this city, and we spent time with them. They were smiling, bro, and it just did something to me to make me want to do something myself. Mm-hmm. So the next year, I had like my first football camp at home where all the kids got to come out for free. They all got T-shirts. They all got to get coached by NFL players. They all got to go home with water bottles, this Spoonful of Hope with backpacks and things like that could, just could make a difference. Some kids don't have backpacks to carry their belongings in, to and from school. Mm-hmm. And so, shoot, man, it just felt so great. And we were like, man, we got to get this right. So my boy, Isaiah De Leon Mares, which he grew up with J-Mac. They're like best friends. God rest his soul. Isaiah passed away about 5 years ago. But Isaiah, he went to Yale, and he was transitioning out of football to kind of help us kind of figure out our niche outside of football. Mm-hmm. And so the foundation was something he helped me with. And we set it up backwards, but we had our heart right. You know what I'm saying? We
got started. That's what matters, right?
He helped J-Mac with J-Mac Gives Back. Mm-hmm. He helped them get that off the ground too. But we kept working to get it right. And so once we got everything right, the 501(c) and all that, then we knew we could go out and really do what we wanted to do. And the first couple of years, man, I would go to these schools here in the urban part of town, and I mean like on the south side, not out because the Falcons. A lot of the time they'll have you out in Gwinnett. And then Gwinnett, that's the county where everybody ain't affluent, but the county's affluent. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. These kids, they kind of understand what's going on.
Right.
Kids down in the city, I feel like that was kind of like resonated with my friends that I grew up with, that my mom was pouring into. So I'm like, we need to be down there. So my wife and I, my girlfriend at the time, she was hands-on with everything, going out, and securing these places where we can go and promote our, what we're doing. And, we go to the Atlanta Food Bank or the Georgia Food Bank. We go to Adamsville Elementary School and inspire kids by buying bikes through the foundation for perfect attendance, just to get them, like, man, because kids were just going to school just to eat. You realize that.
Yep.
So we wanted to have them a little bit more inspired. We do reading programs with them. They even had to write essays about themselves in order to receive well, not in order to receive, but like we would do, that's how we would narrow it down. Cause you can't help everybody, right? But we figured out a way to, to bless the kids who really took initiative to really, go
try to get better. Yeah.
Try to get better, So, and that's what we started doing. So we did the Spoon Feeder family at Thanksgiving. We take them to the College Football Hall of Fame downtown here in Atlanta on Marietta Street. I showed them the Missouri hat, the Missouri helmet. Yeah. We go out there on the field, kick some field goals. I play with them. We bless them all with their gift cards, take pictures. I bring my teammates out. We had a great time. Then we also go to the World of Coca-Cola and have them take a tour of that. You'd be surprised. These kids never been to the aquarium. They never been to the World of Coca-Cola, and like just show them different things to open their eyes on like there are different opportunities for you out there.
Yeah.
If you stay on the right path that you can be a part of. And we just wanted to give them some hope. And the pandemic, kind of put a dampen on that. But we also partner with the school, the Ansley School, which provides a private education, but they're a public school, and they provide this to homeless kids only. So that just touched my heart, man. And this past year, we ended up donating their playground. So they just got their first campus and everything. They were operating out of a church. So we're just trying to do what we can, bro, just to inspire the youth. And I feel like if we do that, then we're gonna be in good hands. So I'm trying to do it at home. So when I get older, my babies can not necessarily take care of me, but they can assist me in in becoming the elderly, So man, it's just about helping people though. That's all. That's really all it's about. And we're gonna try to continue to do that, man. But it's called Spoonful of Hope. And I feel like if you got hope, then you got some fight. You got a reason to fight. And you can check out some of the things we did, man, on spoonfulofhope.org.
Okay. Awesome, man. So we got a singer, songwriter, record label, producer, owner, professional football player, man of the people. What else we got?
Let's see.
I know it's something else you're doing you want to tell the people about.
Yeah, that's why I got to tap. Oh, the coaching part. We talking about the coaching stuff.
Yeah.
I'm coaching the kids right now, but I think at some part when I'm in the right mental space and my kids are doing, what they're doing and they're busy and the nest is not necessarily empty, but when the nest is like just about to be empty, I think I might want to get back into it on that main stage level, like maybe like Mizzou,
Really?
You never know. Jeremy is trying to get me into it. He's like, bro, I need you, bro. I need you. I'm like, I'm not moving. if Mizzou come calling now, hey, I got a nice scheme. I got a nice defensive scheme, bro. That you're gonna love because we're gonna run like 3 or 4 calls, bro. We're gonna be great at that.
That's it. Play full speed and run these 3 plays.
I'm telling you, man, and I don't take that lightly. Like football season get ready to start for my 7-on-7 team. I mean, it was really 5-on-5 with the kids. I don't know how I'm gonna set my defense up with a little 3-2. I got a little 3-1-1 stack I be doing. And bro, I'm trying to get them going.
You're scheming 6-year-olds,
right.
man.
I'm about to pull out the lamination machine and start getting my script ready, man.
You're like, hey, number 28, he just had a goofy party last week. His birthday's on 17th. He's too old.
His mind ain't right.
Here.
I hate the coaches who give the kid the ball every play, bro. Like they 5 years old, but you out here acting like Derrick Henry out here, man.
Right.
Let's get
spread that thing out.
That kid got some big feet. Some big kids, bro.
Hey, I'll tell you what, though. My hat's off to you. If you think about jumping into coaching, boy, because that is a foray that I would
Once I'm ready for that, I think I could go toward that. You know what I'm saying? But like right now, just with the babies, man. Just with the babies. And it's going to have to be like a necessity. Like I blow all the money on the music and now you got to go. You know what I'm saying? So we hope not to do that. But hey, love ball is giving me so much. That's the reason why we on the call today, man. I thank y'all for having me on. But that ball will take you around the world, man. No matter what ball it is, whatever your passion is can take you around the world.
Yep, that's real, man. Well, you heard it here. Making Mizzou, sponsored by 360 Vodka on the Kansas City Sports Network. Spoon, man.
Name, bro.
Appreciate you.
Mizzou, bro. I used to be hating on Mizzou. They be like, can you put this up and tag Mizzou made? I was like, bro, my mama done made me, but you know, the journey, of course, but like, we did a good job of putting Missouri on the map, man. I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I am grateful.
Go ahead.
Great class and like such great people that like really came together for a common goal that really, did something, man. So that's awesome, man. Great name.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us, man. For real. You are, man, you inspire everybody that talks to you, man. They know you're different. And they see a passion that comes through. It's undeniable, man. And just keep doing what you're doing. Wish you the best, and just stay blessed, bro. Thanks
Man,
for joining
appreciate
us,
y'all, man. Thanks again. I wish the blessings upon you and your families as well, man. God bless y'all.
Appreciate it, bro.